Okay, let's see if we should be live pretty soon. All right, oh, we're live. Yes. I'm so happy. I don't know why I get so happy when I see the green light letting me know that we're live. Okay, either way, here we are. Let's make the most of it. Okay, so in this live lesson, we're going to use the theme end of the day. Right, so here's the question. What are we studying? Okay, oh, in the comments I see Yield is too gay. Hello, hello, welcome. All right, so what are we studying in this lesson? In this English lesson, we're going to talk about an idiom, describe and summarize a picture, use a picture and the idiom to create a conversation. Then we're going to use pictures to explain vocabulary and phrases in the conversation. Oh, and of course, test you with a quiz. Okay, so let's take a quick preview of what we're going to be doing in this lesson. Well, we're going to talk about the idiom. We're going to talk about the phrase reject your proposal. And oh, teddy bears, how nice. Talk about a picture. Make a conversation. Talk about a lousy friend. Your breath stinks. Poker game. You bluffed. The pot. Absolutely wonderful. And of course, my favorite, the quiz. Woo! Right, we're going to do a lot today. Great, let's get started. First, let's take a look at the idiom. End of the day. Okay, and I should also add that feel free to leave comments. I'll keep my eye on the comments so I can answer your questions and talk about your comments. Okay, so the idiom is end of the day. End of the day, other ways to say end of the day are ultimately, in the end, after giving it some thought. So something is happening and you're kind of getting to the conclusion of your thoughts and you're going to make a decision. So another way is after taking all things into consideration. After thinking for a while, at the end of the day. Right? Here is an example. At the end of the day, we decided to reject your proposal to spend $1,000 for a giant teddy bear in the office. So here's the example of the idiom, end of the day. We could also say, after giving it some thought, we decided to reject your proposal to spend $1,000 for a giant teddy bear in the office. Let's talk about the phrase, reject your proposal. Aha, the pictures say it all. Okay, so here are other ways to say reject your proposal. You could say deny your request. You could say not use your idea. You could also say dismiss your plan and forget about your way of doing it. Right? So these are all similar ways to say reject your proposal. So you had an idea or someone had an idea and people were like, no, we're going to deny it. We're going to reject it. We're not going to take it. All right. So let's do a little bit of pronunciation. Repeat after me. Reject your proposal. Deny your request. Not use your idea. Dismiss your plan. Forget about your way of doing it. Right. So this is from the example. At the end of the day, after thinking about it for a while, we decided to reject your proposal. We decided to deny your request to spend $1,000 for a giant teddy bear. Teddy bear? Oh, teddy bear? Everyone loves teddy bears, right? So if you spent $1,000 on a teddy bear, it would be a huge Probably a huge teddy bear, which would be kind of interesting in the office, but completely useless. All right, let's see. We have a question. Yildiz Tugay says, refused your request can be used. Let's see. Sure. Refuse and deny are almost the same, have very close, similar meanings. So if you refuse something, you deny something, you say no to something, you don't want it. So yes, you could say refused your request, right? You could also say refused your plan, right? Refused your proposal. We didn't want it, right? So we denied it. We refused it, right? So that's right. Refused your request can be used. So here we have pictures of teddy bears, cute teddy bears. But the work budget, the office budget for spending money, it's probably not a good idea to spend $1,000 on a huge teddy bear, right? In these pictures, you can see no, denied, no, rejected. Okay, so that was the idiom. And the example one more time is, at the end of the day, we decided to reject your proposal to spend $1,000 for a giant teddy bear in the office. And we might fire you too if this is how you use the money from our company. Okay, so now we're going to take a look at a picture. Oh, let's take a look at this picture and we're going to talk about it, describe it. So in the comments, feel free to let me know what you see, what words come to your mind, what you think about the picture, or just describe it with me. Okay, so we have two men. We have Fred and we have Larry, right? And I would say these are old men, right? It looks like they're older. They probably have a lot of wrinkles, white hair. And I think Fred looks a little bit older than Larry, but that's just my opinion. Let's see. They are outside. And I would say it is possibly that it's early in the morning, maybe. And I think it's kind of cold out because they both have long winter jackets on and they have hats. The hats aren't really warm hats, but it's better than nothing because it's not covering their ears, right? So their ears can still get cold. But I would still say it's pretty cold out because, I mean, Fred's jacket, he even has, I think, a scarf maybe. I don't know if that's his jacket or just a scarf. But they're pretty heavy jackets. And Fred's wearing gloves and they have long pants. Fred has kind of a dark gray or brown cap, right? I would say Larry's is a hat and kind of like a taxi driver's hat, and Fred's is more like a baseball cap. See, Fred's coat is kind of a bluish green gray something or other. Looks kind of old. Fred is holding a bicycle. He's standing next to the bicycle and he's holding on to the handlebars. Looks like he's carrying something, some sort of like briefcase or something hanging from the bicycle. And the bicycle looks kind of like a regular bicycle. Larry has a dark coat on. His pants or his hands are in his pockets. He has long pants. And right, I'd say behind them over here is some sort of a bulletin board. Let me move this out of the way. A bulletin board where you can post pictures or advertise things. Maybe there are animals or pets. Maybe people want to sell their puppies and kittens. I don't know. And I would say the season is, it could be fall because the leaves fall, or maybe early winter, depending where they are. There aren't any leaves on the trees and it looks like it's kind of cold out. Okay, so that's the picture. If we had to summarize the picture, in other words, if we had to describe the picture just using a few short sentences, we could say two old men are talking with each other outside near a street, almost on the street, right? It's morning and it seems kind of cold out, right? One man has a bicycle and the other doesn't. Both men are wearing a hat and winter jacket. Okay, so this would be summarizing the picture. So let's read it again. Here we go. Two old men are talking with each other outside near a street. It's morning and it seems kind of cold out. One man has a bicycle and the other doesn't. Both men are wearing a hat and winter jacket. Okay. Oh, this is an opportunity for pronunciation practice. A lot of pronunciation practice. Okay, so repeat after me. We'll do it in sections. Repeat out loud, and if you are, give me some apples in the comments and let me know you're participating. Repeat after me. Two old men are talking with each other outside near a street. It's morning and it seems kind of cold out. One man has a bicycle and the other doesn't. Both men are wearing a hat and winter jacket. Okay, so we took a look at the picture. Then we summarized the picture. Aha! I see an apple in the comments. That means you're doing the pronunciation. Ooh, a red one and a green one. Thank you. Tasty, tasty. Okay, so let's use this picture with Fred and Larry and let's have a conversation. And you know that my conversations will probably be a little strange, but we're going to learn and make sure you understand how to use the idiom and phrases and vocabulary in the conversation. So here we go. Let's have a little bit of fun. Fred is going to talk first. Okay, here we go. At the end of the day, you're a lousy friend and your breath stinks. Oh, Shadamo says, hello, hello, teacher. Hello, hello. We're just starting the conversation. So Fred starts it with, at the end of the day, you're a lousy friend and your breath stinks. Well, Larry says, is this about me beating you at that poker game 40 years ago? Fred, of course. You bluffed and stole the pot that was going to change my life. Now, all I have is a bicycle. It's a nice bicycle. Okay, Larry, at the end of the day, I think your bicycle is absolutely wonderful. Fred, it was great talking to you. I gotta go. See ya tomorrow. Ooh, okay. So now we have a conversation. First thing I'm going to do is find the idioms and make them bold so they stand out and we can see easily how they fit into the conversation. Okay, so the idiom, the theme for today was end of the day. Fred says end of the day once and Larry says it once. Let me just quick take a look at my typing, see if there are any mistakes. Okay, so I'm going to say the conversation at regular speed. Here we go. Follow along. Fred, at the end of the day, you're a lousy friend and your breath stinks. Larry, is this about me beating you at that poker game 40 years ago? Fred, of course. You bluffed and stole the pot that was going to change my life. Now all I have is a bicycle. Larry, at the end of the day, I think your bicycle is absolutely wonderful. Fred, it was great talking to you. I gotta go. See you tomorrow. Okay, so let's break this conversation into parts and we're going to talk about the vocabulary and phrases. So we already talked about end of the day. You could say after thinking for a while, at the ultimately in the end, the conclusion was, right? So you thought about something and then you're gonna share the information or make a decision. So at the end of the day, you're a lousy friend and your breath stinks. Well, I think we need to look at a lousy friend. While I'm finding the pictures, does anybody know what the word lousy means? So we're gonna take a look at a lousy friend. Woo! We kind of have an idea from the conversation, right? In the context. But let's take a look at other ways to say a lousy friend. I think the pictures kind of explain for themselves, but here are other ways to say a lousy friend. You could say an awful friend, right? And if you guys have other ways in the comments, right, feel free to type. Okay, an abysmal friend, an atrocious friend, a terrible friend, an appalling friend, a second-rate friend. Woo, so many options. All right. Okay, so these are other ways to say a lousy friend. All right. And before we talk about them, let's do a little pronunciation. And if you're repeating out after me, give me some apples. All right, here we go. Aha, let's see. Sarah Mo says maybe bad friends. That's not bad, right? A poor friend. Oh, yield these two guesses. A poor friend, right? Wow, there are so many adjectives to describe a friend who is no good, right? So repeat after me. A lousy friend, an awful friend, an abysmal friend, an atrocious friend, a terrible friend, an appalling friend, a second-rate friend. Okay, so I imagine there are some new words here, or maybe words that you're not very familiar with, like abysmal, but all of these have a very similar meaning to lousy. Lousy just means it sucks. It's not good, right? Like in the comments, bad, poor, right? If something or someone is lousy, low quality, right? We could say a low quality friend, right? So awful is very similar to abysmal. Abysmal is like even almost more awful than awful. Atrocious is like horrible. Terrible, right? Appalling is like, you don't even want to get involved. It's just, stay away. And second rate is, think about if you buy something second hand, it's already used, it's lost some of its quality, so it's not as good quality as something that's new. So a second-rate friend is someone who only gets 2 stars out of 5. Maybe 1 star or 0 stars. Right, let's see. Layla Almeida says, lousy friend, it seems to me not a friend. Right. So it's like, if you were going to rate the friend 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stars, and you give the friend 2 stars, they're a lousy friend. So maybe it's not good to keep them as a friend. All right. Let's see, down here we have the faces. We have smiley face, regular face, and sad face or upset face. A lousy friend gets the bottom box. Check. You are not a good friend. And over here we have a guy who is just putting his head against the wall because he is, I don't know, stressed out that the friend is just not very good. Okay, so back to the conversation. So Fred started it. At the end of the day, you're a lousy friend. You're an atrocious friend. You're a horrible friend. You're a poor friend. You're a bad friend. You suck. You're no good. You're a terrible friend. And your breath stinks. I think we should learn about your breath stinks. Maybe kind of offensive to say to someone, but it's still good to learn English about learn English about things that are not very nice, right? Okay, so your breath stinks. And here it is a sentence, right? It's a declarative sentence. We're sharing information, stinky information, but your breath stinks. Oh, look at all these pictures. All right, here are other ways to say your breath stinks. Here we go. Your breath smells. As in, smells bad. Doesn't smell like roses. Your breath reeks. Ooh, that's a nice one. Your breath has a horrible odor. Your breath has a terrible smell. Okay, let's see. Sarah Mo says, yes, it's so useful. Wonderful. Okay, so I'm hopefully giving you lots of different ways to say one thing. So instead of just saying it one way, you can say it many ways. Okay, so before we talk about each one, let's do some pronunciation. Repeat after me. And you would probably say it, you wouldn't be like, your breath stinks. You would be like, your breath stinks. Okay, repeat after me. Your breath stinks. Your breath smells. Your breath reeks. Your breath has a horrible odor. Your breath has a terrible smell. And yield is too gay. Your breath is like a toilet. Yes, you could say that, right? Oh, man, your breath is just like a toilet, like a stinky toilet. Okay, so we're talking about breath, right? It's the air that comes out of your mouth, right? Your respiration, okay? The air that comes out of your mouth. And smells is pretty much the same as stinks. You could say, depending on the context, the situations, you could say something smells good. But if someone just says your breath smells and they don't add anything else at the end, it's a very good guess that they're saying something smells bad, right? So they don't have to finish the sentence and say your breath smells horrible. They can just say, ooh, your breath smells. People are going to understand that it doesn't mean it smells good. All right, let's see. Layla Almeida says sometimes it's a disease. Right. He or she maybe is sick, right? Or maybe they've been smoking their whole life and it just smells really bad. Okay, so reeks. Reeks is another way to say smells and stinks. But if we put them on a level, I would put smells here. I would put stinks over here. And I would put reeks up here. I think reeks is kind of strong. If you say that someone reeks, you're probably going to want to wear the gas mask and protect your nose. Right. Okay. Let's see. Your breath has a horrible odor. An odor is, here it's a noun, it's a thing. Another word for odor is a smell. And used as a noun, as a thing. So you could say your breath has a horrible smell. Your breath has a horrible odor. But something is, not so good. All right, and here we go, smell down here, right? Your breath has a terrible smell. Okay, so let's take a look at the pictures. We have the lovely gas mask. We have a girl who is breathing. And actually, it's good that we can't actually see the breath, right? That would be kind of gross. But here, we're getting the idea that her breath smells bad. Her breath reeks. And this guy's like, I know my breath smells, but I don't care. Right. And then we have a nice pile of poop. Let's see. Sarah Mo said, your breath killed me. Right? Your breath knocked me out. Right? Think of like a boxer. They're gonna ooh, right? But instead, this guy, he breathes on you, and you forgot to bring your gas mask. So it's like the breath is like poof, and it knocks you out. Just smells really bad. Okay, so these are other ways to say your breath stinks. Back to the conversation. All right, so at the end of the day, you're a lousy friend and your breath stinks. So Fred is insulting Larry. He's saying mean things about Larry. Now Larry is going to try to figure out, why is Fred being so mean to me? All right, Larry, is this about me beating you at that poker game 40 years ago? Ooh, okay. Poker game. Let's talk about poker games. All right, let's find my pictures. Here we are. Okay, so a poker game. I'm going to give you a definition this time because I don't know that many other ways to say poker game, because it's kind of specific. It's a very specific definition. So what it is it's a card game played by 2 or more people who bet on the value of the hands dealt to them. Okay, so before we talk about the definition, why don't we do pronunciation? Great! Repeat after me. Here we go. A card game played by 2 or more people who bet on the value of the hands dealt to them. Okay, and if you're doing pronunciation, give me some apples in the comments. All right, so the poker game, the pictures really help on this one. And poker is a very, very popular game, so imagine you've seen it or have an idea what it is. There are different kinds of poker, but we're not going to talk about all those today. But here's a picture. You're going to use cards, right? A deck of cards. We have the 10 of hearts, Jack of hearts, Queen of hearts, King of hearts, Ace of hearts. So this would be an awesome hand. I think it's called a royal flush, something like that, because they're all in order and they're all of the same suit, the same kind. These are hearts. They also have diamonds and clubs and spades, right? Okay, so these things on the table in front of this person are called chips, right? And he is betting. So a bet, another way to say a bet is a wager, right? You're betting. And they're betting on the value of the hands. And the hands are not like your hand that you're touching. The hands are the group of cards that you get during the game. So if your hand was this hand, you'd probably want to bet a lot of money because you're probably going to win. All right, let's see, we have a question and we have a hello. Red Brandy Cherry says hello. So I will say hello, welcome. Okay, let's see. Yildiz Too Gay says, can you explain dealt to them, please? I can. Okay, so dealt to them, all right? Dealt is the past participle of the verb to deal, all right? And if a dealer or the person deals the cards, it means they take one by one and they give a card to you, they give a card to that person, they give a card to them, so they deal. They give the cards out one by one. That's called dealing the cards, giving them out one by one. And so if we're talking about the past participle, value of the hands dealt, right? And the hands are not the hands like our hand on our body. The hand is the group of cards. The group of cards that the dealer gave you. The dealer is the person who is, it's their turn, or maybe the person that works at the casino, and they give everybody the cards, right? So they deal the cards. So the person is called the dealer. Okay? All right. Hopefully I answered your question, right? So dealt to them just means given to them. So if you said dealt to them right there, another way to say that is given to them, or that they received. So it's the cards. It's like this, the hand, the different cards that you received that were dealt to you. Okay? So as the game goes, people add more chips to the middle. if they want to keep playing. If they don't want to keep playing, then they stop and they fold. Fold just means that they put their cards down and they don't want to play anymore, and you lose your money that you've already put in. All right, Yildiz Tugay says thank you. Wonderful. Okay. All right, Sarah Mo says great, great, with lots of apples. Wonderful. Okay, so this is poker, and oh, same up here. This guy has an ace of hearts, a black hearts. Oh no, oh yeah, you don't usually see black hearts. Huh? Okay, but ace of hearts and a king of hearts. Ooh, it's probably going to be a good hand. So he might bet a lot of money, or the chips, because the chips are worth money, right? All right, let's see. Layla Almeida says, could you repeat first statement? Can you be more specific? Oh, you mean pronunciation? We can do that. We can do pronunciation again. Everybody repeat after me. The definition of poker game. Repeat out loud. A card game played by 2 or more people who bet on the value of the hands dealt to them. Okay, so I try to pause so you guys can repeat it, and then we can move forward together. Okay, and once again, dealt to them. The best way to say it in a different way, I think, is given to them, right? Okay, so this is a poker game. Back to the conversation. Layla Almeida says thank you. You're welcome. All right. Okay, so Larry. Larry says, is this about me beating you at that poker game 40 years ago? And when he says, is this, he's talking about Fred's bad attitude. Because Fred is saying mean things about him, right? So is your bad attitude about me beating you at that poker game 40 years ago? Is it about me defeating you? You know, me winning 40 years ago? Okay, so Fred says, of course, yes. You bluffed and stole the pot that was going to change my life. Now all I have is a bicycle. Ooh. Let's see, let me look at the comments first. Yildiz Tugay, hands meaning is one game for bet in this definition. Yes, the complete hand. Let me go back to the picture. Because in poker, you're going to be able to have 5 cards, right? It might, depending on the kind of poker game, sometimes you only get 2 cards and everybody shares the cards in the middle, right? And then you can pick the best 5 cards to make your hand, right? And that would be the end of the one game, right? And then they repeat and repeat. So this is, up here, it's similar to the card game, poker game, Texas Hold'em, where everyone gets 2 cards face down. Face down means that, you know, it's hidden. You don't want anybody else to see. And then later, the dealer puts one by one a card down, and then people can bet. 1 card and bet. And you can make a combination using your cards and the cards on the table. And whoever has the best hand, the total of 5 cards, wins. Okay, all right, great question, Yildiz Tugay. All right, so here we are. Let's talk about you bluffed. Does anybody, before I explain it, does anybody have an idea what it would mean if I said you bluffed? And this by itself can be a very short sentence, right? You bluffed. So anybody have an idea, what does you bluffed mean? Well, we're going to explain it as you bluffed. It's very common in poker and cards, but it could also be used in real life, right? So let's take a look here. Does anybody have an idea, while I take a drink of my water, what does it mean you bluffed? Okay, cheers. Okay, so I don't see anybody answering, so I'm going to explain what does it mean you bluffed. New person. Iman Salah says cheater. It's possible. Yes, it's possible. And depending on the game, it might be okay with the rules to bluff. Like if you play poker, people might call you a cheater, but you're not breaking the rules of the game. You're actually playing the game very well. So it depends on the situation, but you're right. Iman Salah has the right idea, cheater. All right. Layla Almeida says to pay. Not quite. And she says to bet. It's similar. It's a part of betting. Sarah Mo says maybe a liar. Okay, so Iman Salah says cheater. That's very close. Very close. Sarah Mo says maybe a liar. Ooh, that's very, very close. Okay, so here are other ways to say you bluffed. Okay, and in this conversation, we were talking about the poker game. So Larry had said to Fred, or was it Fred? Yeah, Fred said to Larry, you bluffed and stole the pot. You bluffed. Okay, so here are other ways to say you bluffed. And these ways should help explain what it is. You bluffed, you tricked me. Okay, so tricked, right? You tricked me, you deceived me, you pretended. And just like someone said, Sarah Mo, you lied, right? You could also say you were misleading, and we'll explain that in a moment. And just like Iman Salah said, a similar one is you cheated. And whether or not it's allowed in the game depends on the game. In poker, people bluff all the time, and it's part of the game. It's what makes the game kind of interesting. Okay, so let's do pronunciation first, and then we'll talk about each one. So repeat after me, and show me some apples if you're doing pronunciation. Here we go. You bluffed. You tricked me. You deceived me. You pretended. You lied. You were misleading. You cheated. Okay, so these are similar ways to say you bluffed, right? Similar, okay? So tricked, you tricked me, right? You made me think one thing, but actually the truth was that it was something different. So when you bluff in poker, it's very common because they hide their cards, right? They put them face down. Like here, only maybe one person knows what the cards are. So they might pretend that they're really good cards. Or maybe they pretend that they're bad cards. But the whole idea is they want to win a lot of money. And they don't want other people to know exactly what cards they have, but maybe they want to bluff and make other people think that their cards are much better than they actually are. So here we are with cards again and poker chips. And this lady, she looks a little bit mysterious. She has 4 aces. Woo! That's a very, very good hand, right? 4 aces. It's almost impossible. Very rare to get that, right? So she's kind of hiding. She has a mischievous look on her face. And this guy, he's looking over his shoulder. I don't trust that guy, right? So if someone bluffs a lot, it's difficult to trust them because you don't know what they're going to do. So you tricked me is very similar to you deceived me. Once again, you made me think something, but it turns out that it was not. It was something different. You pretended. You pretended that you had 2 aces, but you only had a 2 and a 9. Not a very good hand. And you lied, right? Now, you lied is very kind of strong, right? When we think about people lying, it's like, ugh, makes you feel kind of upset or angry. You bluffed. It actually means you lied, right? You're not telling the truth. But when you say you bluffed, it's like, it doesn't seem so serious. It seems more like a game, like in poker. But you could bluff in life, maybe, I guess. But when you say you lied, it sounds much stronger. All right, let's see. Yildiz Tugay says, hiding someone's hands during the game with lie. Okay? Yeah? Or not sharing the information that you have. Let's see, you were misleading. Okay? Misleading means that you made me think something different than the truth, right? You deceived me. You tricked me. right? So I wanted you to think that I had a lot of money. So I wore a gold watch, expensive sunglasses, and I rented an expensive car. So I was misleading. I tricked you. I was bluffing. Actually, I'm poor and I have no money. All right. Let's see. Iman Salah says it's like deception or different. It's the same. Very good. Deception is similar to the word deceive, right? Your deception was bluffing me. You deceived me, right? Deception is very similar to you bluffed, right? You're not telling all of the truth, or you're telling just a little bit of the truth, or you're not saying any part of the truth at all. All right, and last one, you cheated. You cheated is pretty strong too. It's strong like you lied. Because if you say to someone you cheated, you feel upset that they did something that was inappropriate, it was wrong, and they either took your money or maybe they hurt you in some way, right? But in poker, you can't really say you cheated because it's part of the rules. They allow that in the game, right? Now, if you're playing poker and you pull out a gun and you say, okay, everyone, give me all the money. Well, you could probably say you cheated, right? Because it's not part of the rules to use guns in poker. No, right? So these are similar ways to say you bluffed. Not exactly the same, but similar. The idea is that you're not letting people know the truth. You're either hiding the truth or you're giving them just a small piece of the truth. Okay? All right. Let's see. Leila Almeida says, make someone that you will do that you do really intend to do. I think what you're trying to say is you make someone think that you're going to do this, or that you're going to do this, but actually you do this. So it's not the same, but you make everybody think I'm going to do this, and then boop, you do this. So you bluffed, right? Okay, back to the conversation. All right, Fred, of course you bluffed and stole the pot that was going to change my life. Ooh, let's talk about the pot, because it doesn't mean a pot that's like for cooking chicken. No, that's different. And it doesn't mean marijuana either. Pot could be a word for illegal drugs, depending on where you live. But here, the pot is something different. It's not used in the kitchen, and it's not an illegal drug. Does anybody have an idea what is the pot if we're talking about poker? The pot. Here we go. The pot. Right? Pronunciation's not so difficult. The pot. Okay, so the pot. I'm going to give you a definition, and then maybe we can do pronunciation of that. The pot in poker is the total money that players bet during a single game. Okay, so it's the total money that they put in during one game. So maybe this is the pot and the person won, so they get everything. They get all of the chips. And each one of these is called a chip. So there's a lot of chips here. And all of the different colors mean different amounts of money that they're worth, okay? And it's easier to use chips than to throw money all around on the table because the chips are neat and easy to use, right? So as they bet, they get their cards and they look at their cards and they have a chance to bet. They can add money to the pot, and they usually put the pot in the middle. The pot is just all the chips that people are betting, that they're putting in. And as the game is played, the pot will grow. Because if a lot of people think they can win, they'll probably put money into the pot, right? Depending on what their strategy is, but they want to earn a lot of money. They want to get a lot of chips, like down here. So a pot is just the total money that players bet during a single game, all right? So let's do pronunciation. Repeat after me. The pot in poker is the total money that players bet during a single game. Okay, so the pot, another way to say the pot, what it means is just the money. It's the money, and they use the chips, right, to represent the money. Okay, so back in the conversation, Fred says, of course, you bluffed. You deceived me. You pretended. Maybe he's upset and he says, you lied and stole the pot. So you stole that big pile because you bluffed. You won and you stole the money. I wanted to win. You bluffed and I lost, and you stole the pot, and the pot was going to change my life. Right. Now, all I have is a bicycle. So maybe with the pot, Fred was going to buy a car or something different. I don't know. All right, let's continue. At the end of the day, after thinking things over, after making a decision, I think your bicycle is absolutely wonderful. Okay, so Larry's trying to change the bad energy in this conversation. So let's talk about absolutely wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. And let's see, if you guys can think of other ways to say absolutely wonderful, let me know in the comments and I will read your comments. Okay, so let's talk about absolutely wonderful. And I think you probably understand the meaning because the pictures are wonderful. Everyone's so excited. All right, here are other ways to say absolutely wonderful. Totally awesome. Aha, Layla Almeida says extraordinary. Ooh, yes. Let's see. Completely marvelous. Yes. Utterly delightful. Unquestionably amazing. Downright incredible. Okay, and Layla Almeida also said great, right? Great, extraordinary, wonderful, incredible. And here we're using an adverb and an adjective, right? And the adverb describes the adjective. So it's the same down here. Adverb, adjective, adverb, adjective. The whole idea is we're trying to explain or describe something that is awesome because we're putting together two really strong words that express a lot of wonderful energy, great energy. You're not just saying it's wonderful. You're saying it's absolutely 100% wonderful. Okay, so here's our chance for pronunciation. Repeat out loud after me. Absolutely wonderful. Totally awesome. Completely marvelous. Utterly delightful. Unquestionably amazing. Downright incredible. All right, in the comments, Yildiz Tugay says, no doubt amazing. Right, right. So there's no, you can't doubt it, right? You know that it is amazing. All right, so awesome is similar to wonderful, incredible. Totally, it's like absolutely, 100%, completely, right? Utterly, very similar to totally, completely, 100%. Unquestionably, inside the word we have question. So un is making it negative. So it's like there's no question. It's amazing. So let's say that word. Unquestionably. Unquestionably amazing. Unquestionably wonderful. Unquestionably delightful. And right here we can say downright incredible. Downright is a little bit different than the others, but it's just a way to describe that it is. It's really incredible. And there's no doubt. There's no thinking that it's not, right? It is. It's downright incredible. Okay? And we have someone else in the comments. I don't read, it's either Arabic or Farsi, but I will say welcome and hello to you. Okay, so let's see. These are other ways to say absolutely wonderful. Let's take a look at the pictures. This lady is, she is just electrified. So, so excited. She's like, ah, I'm so happy. Because life is absolutely wonderful. Life is completely marvelous. Looks like she's jumping on the beach. She's holding out her arms and she's stretched out with a big, big smile on her face. These people are at their wedding, right? Or it looks like their wedding, and they're having an absolutely great time. It's amazing. It's utterly delightful, right? So they're really enjoying each other. They're laughing, they're smiling, and they're having a wonderful time. All right. Oh, Layla Almeida says totally energetic. Right. A lot of great, positive, wonderful energy. And this lady over here, she has a scarf, I guess this thing is. A scarf or like a really small blanket. And she's waving it in the air because life is absolutely wonderful. Life is unquestionably amazing. Life is completely marvelous. And her scarf matches her nice red pants. And she's standing in the middle of a road. If she keeps standing in the road, life will no longer be absolutely wonderful. She'll be absolutely dead. So hopefully she does what she's going to do. And then she gets out of the road. Because life will take a wrong turn. Okay, all right. Back to the conversation. These were other ways to say absolutely wonderful. Okay, here we are. This is the conversation. So Larry said at the end of the day, or, I was thinking, I made my decision, this is what I think. I think your bicycle is absolutely wonderful. I think your bicycle is utterly delightful. It's absolutely amazing. It's downright awesome, right? So I think Larry's trying to change the mood in the conversation because Fred was just being a jerk, right? And insulting him, calling him a lousy friend. Your breath stinks. That's not something that good friends do. So I think Larry's just trying to change the bad energy to good energy, so he gives him a compliment. Isn't it interesting how sometimes when people are just mean, right? And instead of being mean back to them, you say something nice to them and they calm down, right? Ooh, that's what seemed to happen here. Okay, so Fred ends the conversation by saying, "It was great talking to you. I gotta go. See you tomorrow." Right. And just quick, gotta just means going to, but people always say gotta, especially when it's informal. Between Fred and Larry, it's a very informal conversation right now. And it's really common for people to say see ya instead of see you, because ya is just quicker and easier to say than you. You can try it. If you say see you or see ya, it's just real quick, right? See ya. Okay, see you tomorrow. All right, let's see, there's a compliment. It says it's Ibrahim. Okay, so welcome Ibrahim. Wonderful. Thank you so much for spending time with us and hanging out with Able Lingo. Layla Almeida says there are dances like this. Ooh, let's see. I assume that you're talking about these pictures. Probably like this one. Sure. I'm definitely not an expert on dance. This could be a dance. I just have a question. Why is she dancing in the middle of the road? When a big truck comes and it won't be absolutely awesome anymore. Okay, yeah, I suppose it could be a dance. That sounds right. Okay. All right, so let's see the conversation one more time, because in a moment it will be time for the quiz. But first, I'm going to repeat the conversation at regular speed. Here we go. Fred, at the end of the day, you're a lousy friend and your breath stinks. Larry, is this about me beating you at that poker game 40 years ago? Fred, of course. You bluffed and stole the pot that was going to change my life. Now, all I have is a bicycle. Whoop. All right, one sec. Okay, Larry, at the end of the day, I think your bicycle is absolutely wonderful. Fred, it was great talking to you. I gotta go. See you tomorrow. Okay, so that was a conversation between Fred and Larry. And Fred started off just being a jerk, right? And Larry, I guess he didn't want to have the bad energy, so he said something nice. And then the conversation ended positively. All right, so let's do it. Are you guys ready? If you're ready for the quiz, let me know in the comments. I put on my fake glasses so I can be like a strict teacher. Do your quiz, take your test. Okay, so here we go. Let's take the quiz, and I will go through, and we will also talk about the wrong answers. But let's get started. Here we go. Question number 1. How many years ago did Larry beat Fred at poker? Here are your choices. A, 10 years ago. B, 20 years ago. C, 30 years ago. Or D, 40 years ago. Let's play the music. Let us know in the comments what is your answer. Okay, so let's see. How many years ago did Larry beat Fred at poker? I see the answers in the comments. Okay, here is the correct answer. 40 years ago. Right, a long time ago. So let's see, let's talk about these answers. And there's just one simple way to see what the correct answer is. We go back to the conversation, and Larry, after he answers Fred, who was being a jerk, he says, "Is this about me beating you at that poker game 40 years ago?" So a long time ago. Aha. Right. Let's see, that's right. So 40 years ago. And Fred hasn't forgotten. He's still pissed off that all he has is a bicycle. Okay. So the answer is D, 40 years ago. All right, question number 2. All right. To bluff better at poker, it may help to A, wear a dark suit. B, wear sunglasses. C, wear running shoes. Or D, wear a smile. All right, here's your music. Let me know in the comments what is your answer. Okay. All right. So to bluff better at poker, remember we talked about the word bluff, right? To trick someone better, or to kind of lie to someone better, or to pretend better. So the options are wear a dark suit, wear sunglasses, wear running shoes, wear a big smile. The answer is B, wear sunglasses. Okay, so let's go back and talk about where it says bluff. We talked about you bluffed. The other ways we say you tricked me, you deceived me, right? But if you're playing poker, all right, and this is kind of like in life too, right? Criminals or shady people, people who cause problems, they're known to wear sunglasses, right? Because they don't want people to see their eyes, right? Because if you see my eyes, you have an idea, a better idea if I'm lying to you or if I'm telling you the truth, or if I'm, giving you some of the truth, right? So people, they like to hide their eyes, because if we move our eyes around, then sometimes we move them in a way that makes other people think that we're lying. So if you want to be better at poker, and if you ever watch like the World Series of Poker or on TV, there's quite a few people that wear sunglasses because they don't want people to look at their eyes. They don't want people to know what they're thinking. All right, so that was the answer to number 2. Question number 3. If I say your shoes reek, I'm saying that A, your shoes smell terrible. B, your shoes are the coolest. C, your shoes are for geeks. D, your shoes smell great. Okay, let me know what you think. Okay, all right. So if I say your shoes reek, I'm saying that, ooh, I'm supposed to put I'm. Ooh, let's fix the question. Sorry about that. If I say your shoes reek, I'm saying that, right, your shoes smell terrible. Right. So before we talked about the word reek, well, it was one of the ways when we talked about, where is it? Aha, your breath stinks. And one of the ways to say stinks is reeks. Your breath reeks. So if I say your shoes reek, I need my gas mask. They smell horrible. All right, reeks means stinks. Horrible odor, smells bad. All right, so the answer is, if I say your shoes reek, I'm saying that your shoes smell terrible. Okay, so I see a question about last question. Let's see, here we go. Yildiz 2 Gays said, can someone hide bad feelings with a big smile? Sure, that's possible, right? Let's see, and that's why I was stuck between 2 options. So imagine you were stuck between a big smile and sunglasses. Well, let's see. If you're playing poker and you sit around the table the whole time, 100% of the time, like this, people will probably think you're crazy. So maybe that can help your game and make you a better poker player, but I'm quite sure sunglasses will probably be easier than just, right? I don't know, right? But whoop. So you could use a smile, maybe for 1 or 2 situations that might work fine. But in this one, to wear sunglasses would probably be the best answer. Okay, so let's go to question number 4. If something is utterly delightful, it is A, extraordinarily painful. B, absolutely awful. C, incredibly awesome. D, totally unbelievable. Here's your music. Okay, all right. I like the music, but I can only wait for so long. All right. Woo, Looks like we have letter C, letter C, letter C in the comments. All right. So if something is utterly delightful, it is C. Incredibly awesome, right? It's great. It's wonderful. It's the best. The other ones, they all use absolutely, extraordinarily, totally, 100%, really, 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 oh, bad. Oh, bad. Oh, not so good, right? This is the only one that starts out like really, and then it ends good as well. And so before, when we talked about absolutely wonderful, totally awesome, completely marvelous, utterly delightful, unquestionably amazing, and downright incredible. All right. Okay, let's see. In the comments, we have someone, Nick Gurr, and he says, hello, Abolingo. I say hello and welcome. Okay, so let's see. All right. I'm going to, oh, I think I forgot to explain the wrong answers on this one. So on question number 2, the answer was wear sunglasses. If you want to be better at poker, wearing a dark clothing, maybe it'll make you look like a ninja, but it probably won't help your playing better. Wear running shoes. Well, most people put their feet under the table in poker, so maybe if you piss someone off and you want to run away really fast, they could help you, but no. B is still the best answer. Okay. All right, let's see. On number 3, the wrong answers. The right answer is your shoes smell terrible. Your shoes are the coolest. If I say your shoes reek, they're not the coolest. They're probably the opposite of the coolest. Your shoes are for geeks. Well, geeks are just another way to say nerds. You know, people that wear... yeah, they wear calculators in their pockets and stuff like that. But geeks usually end up being very successful. But the answer doesn't work. And your shoes smell great is the opposite. It's not what we're looking for. Okay. All right. So let's go to question number 5. Here we go. Question number 5. Larry stole that was going to change Fred's life. All right. We need you to fill in the blank and make the sentence complete. Here are your options. A, the lot. B, the pot. C, the cot. D, the bot. Okay, here we go. Let's listen to music. Okay, the music is so dramatic when we're taking a quiz. It's like in a movie. I can do it. Yes, it's dramatic. Okay, so Larry stole that was going to change Fred's life. Okay, the answer is B, the pot, right? And we just used other words that rhyme with pot. Lot, pot, cot, bot. Okay, but they're all wrong. Bot is like a robot, right? Or maybe a bot that works with an app or something on the computer or on your phone. A cot is another name for like a bed, especially for like maybe in the military. They have a cot, the bed which folds up very quickly and is easy to move around. That's a cot. And the lot, if you say the lot, it could be like the parking lot. Or if you say the lot, it could be everything. I want to take the lot. I want to take everything. So the answer is the pot. And we talked about the pot with pictures, didn't we? Right. So the pot in poker is the total money that players bet during a single game. Right. So that's the pot. And it fits our question perfectly, right? Larry stole the pot that was going to change Fred's life. And if we look in the conversation, Fred says it right here. Of course, you bluffed and stole the pot that was going to change my life. Must have been a very important pot. Okay, All right, so that was the answer, and let's take a look. All right, so we finished the quiz. Yay! Hooray! More dramatic music? Right. Okay, all right. So we just finished the quiz, and let's answer another question. What did we accomplish today? So we'll do yes or no questions. Did we talk about an idiom? Oh, yes, we did. Did we describe and summarize a picture? Yes, we did. Did we use a picture and an idiom to create a conversation? Oh, yeah. Did we use pictures to help explain vocabulary and phrases in the conversation? Yes, sir, we did. And did we test you with the quiz? Oh, yeah, we did. We did a lot of stuff today. All right, maybe we'll do a quick review of what we did today. We did the idiom end of the day. We talked about reject your proposal. Teddy bear. We talked about a picture. We summarized the picture. We created a conversation using the picture. And Fred and Larry. We talked about a lousy friend. We talked about your breath stinks. We talked about poker game. You bluffed. The pot. And absolutely wonderful. I think this lesson was absolutely wonderful. Okay, and we took a quiz. Right. We did a lot in this lesson. And okay, I think we're just about finished. I just want to let you know that if you were curious when we're going to have our next live, you can go to ablelingo.com and click on live English lessons, and it'll bring you to a page that looks like this, and it lets you know when we'll be live on Instagram and YouTube. All right, if you like our material and you like these lessons, make sure to subscribe. Right, use that finger and push the subscribe button. Tell your friends. Okay, and I'll end with our motto: improve your English, become more valuable. English is a wonderful tool, and it can help you. Really, it can make things much easier, and especially if you're traveling internationally, English is like the language that people use to communicate. There's so many languages in the world. Okay, all right. Eman Salah says, "Thanks, teacher, for your precious time." Thank you, likewise. Your time is precious as well, and you decided to spend it here with me. Hopefully you learned something and improved your English. Okay, so I'm going to play some dramatic music. Okay, in the comments, thank you very much. Said it was Benjamin, I think. Oh, what was it? Oh, Ibrahim, right? Ibrahim says, thank you very much. Wonderful. Okay. All right, until next time. Okay, take care.